Hello, welcome back to the channel. Got ourselves a root beer right here. Let's listen for that crack. It's cold. It's beautiful. It's almost as cold as the job market and the dating market. All right, so it's actually a bit frozen. It's okay. It's like a root beer slush. All right, so let's get into it. So the job market and dated market fitness. This is my observation by Mr. Fit himself. I'm gonna start with jobs first. Job fitness. One of the main problems right now, more applicants than jobs available. I think we all realize this by now. With the emergence of Chat GPT and AI takeover, we know about the layoffs that have been taking place in the tech world. That's a definite thing. And obviously the layoffs and the government shutdown, that's a huge problem as well. And the market was already difficult to navigate post-COVID days anyways. And before that, it's a struggle since it's like 2008, since the recession back in the day. So it's been tough. It's just getting tougher. Companies being extremely selective now, looking to hire an experienced employee that has 75 to 80% of the job requirements that must be met, and they're hesitant to hire anybody. They do not want to invest in training, and I've seen this in all fields. This is happening. I'm in restaurants, and this was even happening in my field. I was a hiring manager for a time as a sous chef. I had to do a lot of interviews, and we're always looking for candidates that already have the skills we're looking for, already have most of the experience that we want before we even get them into the kitchen, through the doors. And I'm sure all companies are doing this at the moment. There is overall economic uncertainty and a cool down on the hiring process and absolutely slow growth. Of course, we know this. We can tell there's slow growth. And with slow growth becomes slow to hire and less moves being made, less opportunities for Americans overall. Currently, as it stands, long-term unemployment, that of people being unemployed for 27 weeks or more, has risen to a staggering 26%, the highest in its 3 years. So this is not good. 27 weeks out of work is not good. I'm only 1 month out of it, and I'm going crazy. I'm putting in apps like wild, and it is difficult to get a hit back up at all. And I'm feeling it. It's not nice to navigate. So I gotta start pivoting, thinking of other things to do, and plan my next moves out accordingly. But that's a lot. 26% people, that's a lot. 26%, 27 weeks or more unemployed. Some of the problems that we're experiencing: interviews, lots of interviews, and then no callbacks. I'm one of the lucky ones. I've gotten a few interviews. Today at a restaurant, and they let me know that they didn't want me for the interview, so they reneged on it, and I was a little bit upset because we planned this a few days ago, and who calls back to say no? And then they gave me another option. They said, could you come in on this other day? And I pressed the button 2 to say yes. So 1 was no, 2 was yes. Said yes, and they said, oh well, never mind, that position is filled. So it wasn't even a person, it was a goddamn chatbot. It was a stupid robot, stupid AI, damn computer thing. And I hate it. I I hate the computer stuff. I love quirky computer noises and synthesizers and cell phones and all that. This kind of music, I love this stuff, but this interacting with it on a day-to-day basis is freaking killing me, man. I could do without. No way. Ugh, this root beer is so ice cold, and I just gotta say it's so good at 3 grams of sugar per can. That's a bargain. Yeah, that's the next topic. Applications with bots, giving a text to say thank you, so you can't even get a hold of the actual people running the business. Instead, you put in your application after you talk to a chat bot, and then they give you a thank you for applying with us. We're so excited. We want to get to know you and we're interested in you. But they're not. It's a chat bot that is programmed to tell you that. And that is demoralizing. And I think in my own personal experience, that's just unprofessional. I wouldn't do that. Could you imagine that, leaving that for yourself? If somebody's trying to get a hold of you, you'd be like, oh, just talk to my chat bot assistants. My robot will talk to you. This is fine. And they'll praise you and tell you that we can't wait to get back in touch with you. And that's stupid. I hate it. The interview cancellations, and that part is crazy annoying. And then there's overall just application ghosting. You put in an application, you've waited a couple days, you go back, you send an email, you call back a number, ghosted. Absolutely ghosted. There's no getting back to you. You're just putting your apps into the void. And I think this has been the most frustrating time of my life when I've ever been looking for employment. This has been the hardest out of all of them. And I think it's only going to get worse as we head towards a more machine kind of life. It's just not going to help. We're not going to be able to navigate well. And I think in person is the only way to get this sort of thing presented correctly, start off on the right foot, give yourself a break. And my next plan is to print a lot of resumes and then go physically drop off my resume, look the chefs or management in the eye, and give them my resume and be wearing nice clothes and have confidence and exuberance while I speak to them. That is pretty much the only way. I don't think I'm going to get in any other way, to be honest. So that's the job market fitness. They say unemployment's still at 4.3%, but I know that's a lie. I did more research. It's close to the 20%. 20% mark. That's huge. That's not good. And we just laid off more people. And now I hear there's a bank run happening. Oh, it's a mess. All right, now switching from job market fitness to the dating market fitness and what this entails. So dating in 2025, there's actually a drama being played at the Oriental Theater here in Denver. It's called Dating is a Dumpster Fire. And it's a theatrical presentation. And if that doesn't tell you how bad it is, with they're making fun of it, tongue-in-cheek, and they got to play for it, well, you know. Anybody that's single, you know. Man or a woman. It's bad. So, some little stats about this. 63% of men are single. A large portion of those men are in their 20s. And this is double the amount for women. So 63% of men are single, but only 30-something% of women are single. Now, how is that possible? Now, the only way I can think that that's possible is things like situationships and possibility of, instead of dating, it's called we're in the talking stage. You know, I'm 41 years old, and I come from the era of classic dating and courtship, and I didn't know there was this talking stage, and we're a sort of thing, and we hung out all this lingo to me is it's either you're with somebody or you're not. So there's obviously something's amiss here, and 63% of men are single, but half of the amount of women are. Something's not adding up. Some things the experts are saying say it's the end of traditional masculine roles, and that it's mostly men's fault, and it's porn and COVID, video games is something to be blamed on. Well, I don't know if we can keep blaming this on COVID. The lockdown rules are over, and I understand porn is an outlet, certainly, but this doesn't keep men and women from dating. Porn may be out there in the ether. It's available, but I don't see how that's actually blocking anyone from dating anybody. That just doesn't add up. Some other things to note: no one is emotionally available, but everyone is emotionally intelligent. Now, I don't know exactly what that means, but I would say we have a lot of growing up to do on the men and the women's side. But in all of my relationships, I took on the masculine role for sure. I was the provider, the protector. I paid for the first date, probably paid for the last date, paid for a lot of things. And I expected the woman to do the womanly things, and I was gonna take the man's role. She was tired, I would drive. She bought the tickets. She used my money to buy the tickets. She looked up the Airbnb. She got reservations. I'm the one flipping the bill for the dinner. It's fine. That's the way it should be. I don't think it should be any other way. Splitting the bill down the middle. That sounds like wuss stuff. I would never. Split the check. What are you friends? And when it comes to friends, it's either you going out, they're getting your meal, or you're getting their meal. Just be a good chap. None of this split down the middle crap. I've never done that. It's definitely new world. Dating applications. Now this is what I call one of the bigger. This is the bigger pieces of the pie of this whole equation right here. This is a big slice. Dating applications, in my humble opinion, have given the average girl a extremely wide variety of available men to choose from, and all the men that are in life, we are now presented on a world stage, i.e., you and other men like me, we have to compete with men like Drake. We have to compete with reality TV stars. We have to compete with Hollywood stars. We have to compete with the dream of what the girl wants. 6'5", blue eyes, finance kind of guy, making over six figures. And this is what has happened is dating apps, they've given, and for a small majority of guys, because it's up to 80% of women say, they're saying 80, most women are saying 80% of the men are unattractive and not dateable material, not boyfriend material, not even fling material. And this is coming from all walks of life, from average girls, below average girls, and, very, very out of shape girls. All types of girls are saying they want top of the line, USDA, prime rib, T-bone steak only kind of men. And the playing field is not level anymore. And as far as attention goes, a lot of men have to hit paywalls when they hit Tinder up. they're looking through dating apps, and for them to get more available options to scroll through, they have to pay, and the women do not have to pay. There's also just direct, so many dating apps now, and versions of Hinge and Bumble, OkCupid, Plenty of Fish. One's directed at Christians and so and so. I just gotta say, it's a pretty unfair advantage, and it's given us human beings it's given us a bad rap as we scroll through people and we discard them as if we're like looking through movies at a Blockbuster video, and oh no, I don't want that one, I don't want that one, I don't want that, maybe this one, no, and you just scrolling, just flipping, just, right click, left click, whatever you call it. I never really used them. I didn't feel comfortable with it. And this right here is very business-like, and I don't think it bodes well for men or women to superficially click through pictures with a personality profile that's a snapshot, one paragraph, 6 pictures of a person. They're holding their dog, they're in a car, they're at a party, they're at a wedding, and then you decide whether they're good for you or not. I think it's not gonna work out in the long run, and if it was supposed to be successful, then dating apps would be gone by now. But obviously it's not successful at all. Men and women's expectations. I'd say women by far have a more unrealistic expectation of what they're looking for in a partner. I don't like the damn word partner. In a man, let's say what they're looking for in a man. It's pretty unrealistic. Looking more towards physical appearance. A lot of it is height based. If they're not 6 foot, they don't even get a second chance. They won't even be looked at. If they're not pretty well off, lots of money, the job status, what they are getting pushed through pretty quick and not looked at all. If they don't have the perfect hairline, perfect jaw, perfect smile, they're not charismatic, they don't have a great network of friends, all this superficial crap is, taking precedent when it's like not about this at all. It's like, people grow on people is what I've noticed. Sometimes you see a girl and she's cute and you get to know her, and then you find out that personality is not for you. She may be good looking, but that's not your type of girl. And then from there you make the decision, I'm not gonna go for her, I'm not interested. And then you find a girl that's, oh yeah, she's okay. And then you get to know her a little bit, and then they grow on you, and you're like, you know what, this girl is actually really cool. And then that cuteness turns into, this girl's pretty, turns into, let's go out, turns into, wow, a great romance. It could last. This could be the one. So I think, yeah, unrealistic expectations, more so on the women's side, not exactly the guy's side. A lot of guys are humble, and they know they're an average chap, and they just want a regular chick that's gonna be cool and not gonna be crazy. And can we get together? Can we go out and have lunch? Let's go plan a camping trip. When I save up money, we can go get a couple vacations in a year. Let's work it out together. This is the truth. Another thing that's happened is, I think, the rise of feminism has taken over a lot of women's minds, and not in the good way. A lot of women have been told to boss babe it, become a boss queen, go get your bag, get your own finances. A lot of rhetoric on the internet, talking crap on guys, saying they ain't crap, they're nothing, you don't need them. They'd rather pick a bear than have a man in their life. Crazy stuff. And a lot of women that are over the age of 30, 50% of them are unlikely to have children, and that's kind of being like taught to them that they don't need to have kids and they shouldn't have kids, and that's not, shouldn't be a part of their life, and they don't need to procreate. But I think that's one of the most meaningful parts of this whole experience here on life is we should be here to create more life. And I have to say one thing that is huge problem with it is financial struggles on both sides. As we know, men and women have to work their asses off to get anything in this world now. There was a time in the golden years of 40, 50, 60, 70s, 80s, a little bit in the 90s when both parents didn't have to work, when we had mom could take care of the kids and dad could go to work. And I think that's the traditional way. That's how it's been. Most of the world has been like this, and I think this is all a very new strategy of how to run the world and navigate this kind of place. Women are working all the time, and nothing against that. Go do your career. I'm all about it. Have the working, but I think after you have children, then you can make these career moves. But you know, guys can wait forever almost in their 70s. They could have kids. I mean, that'd be terrible to, not terrible, but it would be difficult to have kids in your 70s and raise them. But that's a possibility. But women, there is a cutoff mark that starts around age 30, and then each year it's more difficult. There's eggs that they're gone after a while, and then it's not going to happen. And as far as the in vitro frozen pop, you can freeze your eggs and stuff. That's not a exact possibility for everybody. That's very expensive, and at the rate at which it works it's not great numbers. It's kind of low. So things to consider. And just like the job markets, when you put in an application, I would say that's like putting in an approach for women, and then you get a number, and then you get ghosted. You get ghosted from both. You get ghosted from the jobs, and you get ghosted from women. So they have a lot of guys to look through, and I understand that. If I was on the other side and I had 100 chicks were like jockeying for me, and then one of them that was in the middle, you know, number 65, was like, hey, I can't believe you didn't go for me. Well, you're a jerk. What an asshole. And I'm like, yeah, but I have, you know, 75 others to choose from. You know, I would understand that. So they have a lot to deal with. And it's, there's a word, paralysis analysis. Yeah. So they got too many choices, and then they never choose in the end anyways. End up being alone. Sad on both sides. And I don't want to leave it on a too down of a note, but the job market sucks and the dating market sucks in 2025. And that's just the truth. If it was better, if it was what it should be, then I would have I'd have a job right now, and I would have a lady friend right now. But that's not what's happening now, is it? That's not what's happening. So that's the truth. You go for the approach, an application, you get ghosted, an interview, a date, no callback on both sides. So it's the same thing over and over. But that's job market and dating market fitness in 2025 from yours truly, Mr. Fit. Keeping it legit, giving it to you straight. That's how we do it. All right. Please like, subscribe, share if you've stayed this long. I appreciate it. Let's keep it going, and I'll work tomorrow to get a better cable system so I can get higher quality videos. I can figure this out. I just got to get the right equipment. I didn't tonight. The guy sold me the wrong thing. That's life. Signing out.